Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to the ASKFaris Show. I'm super excited about tonight's guest. Tonight's guest is Edna Fisher. She is the founder, CEO of the Transformation Spot. She is actually a moving shaker in the health and nutrition industry. So let's welcome her to the show. Welcome to the show, Edna. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much for inviting me on this show. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
Good. And the reason why I brought you on this show, because I've been following you for a number of years now. I've been seeing a lot of the moves that you've been making in the health and nutrition and wellness industry and the lives that you've changed, both personally and also those in the community, and also not just local, but also throughout the United States as well. And I just had to go through and bring you on board because I know a lot of our listeners, they're trying to decide what industry they want to go in. They're entrepreneurial, but they're trying to decide what industry they want to go in. So I like to bring different entrepreneurs in so they can just get a glimpse of what it is that they do. And I just want you to share your story a little bit, just a little bit of your background, where you're from, and then we'll jump into the entrepreneurial part.
Okay, awesome. Always a delight to be able to share, because if you're not of service, then it don't make sense.
Yes.
So a little bit about myself. I'm from Milledgeville, Georgia, born and raised in Georgia. Graduated from Baldwin High School, class of 2000.
All right. Look, I'm a 2002 person in Baldwin High School as well.
Yes, we got some alumni here in the house.
Yes.
And I went off to college, and I went into the healthcare field. I always knew that I wanted to help people. Mm-hmm. And my biggest journey started when I had my first son, Jacob. I had my first son, Jacob, at the age of 32, got married and say, oh, finally I'm ready to have kids. And got pregnant, had an amazing pregnancy. Uh-huh. But what happened during this pregnancy is that I ate everything. Uh-huh. I mean, pizza, chicken, everything that you can think of. I had it in abundance. Wow. And before you knew it, I gained all this weight during pregnancy. And thank God I didn't have just gestational diabetes or any health problems along with myself or my growing baby. So the real problem came when I left from the hospital. I gained like 68 pounds pregnant. That's insane.
Wow. That's a lot.
So I knew it had to be something had to happen, but I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go back to some old ways that I know, mm-hmm. which was yo-yo dieting. Mm-hmm. And we all know we can eat tuna.
Exactly. Up and the down, the stop and the start. Yes.
Eat the tuna, eat boiled eggs, basically like starve yourself. Uh-huh. That didn't work, Faris. That didn't work. So that's when I realized there's got to be something that can teach me healthy nutrition. Like all this information out here, the internet would tell you all these different types of, diets or nutrition, yes. or these little fast magic pills, mm-hmm. And I had tried so much in the past, and I said, you know what, I need something that's going to teach me. And during that time too, Faris, like I'm a very confident person.
Yes.
Had been a very confident person. But when all this happened, going home with the new baby, trying to figure out how to be a mom, how to be a wife, and don't know who I am, this newfound body, mm-hmm. I was totally lost. Mm-hmm. I was not myself. Mm-hmm. I started to be closed in, and now that I look back on it, hey, that could have been postpartum depression.
Correct.
Yeah. But I'm just so grateful because of what was inside of me. I knew there was something out there. Mm-hmm. So I did a little bit of research on different programs, and I was specifically looking for something that would teach me. Like I said, teach me. Right. So I found Herbalife. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. And there was this young lady at my church. She had just had a baby, and she was posting pictures with her shake, and she looked really good. So. But, people who love the research, customers love the research. I had to find out how true this was,
Exactly.
So I did my little research, and, I started following people that was taking Herbalife, and I saw that they were happy, they were excited. But the main thing was there was something about it that allowed these people to keep the weight off and truly live a healthy, active lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So fast forward, I got onto a nutrition plan, learned healthy nutrition. My first 6 weeks, I lost 36 pounds.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
I lost 36 pounds, and I felt absolutely amazing. I started feeling confident. I felt like I was learning something.
Mm.
And what I was doing, Ferris, was just sharing my journey online.
Wow.
And this is when, social media was just warming up, and
Correct.
marketing was just warming up, at that
Mm-hmm.
time. And I'm sorry, I didn't say what year I had my son. That was 2014.
Okay.
So back in 2014. So at that time, I was just charting my journey because I love social media.
It's a part of our life now, so you can't avoid it, especially if you're looking to grow a business.
Yes, yes. And so I like to say that the business kind of fell in my lap only because I was just sharing my journey.
Mm.
So, people were saying like, girl, what did you do? I need that. I'm like, you do? Okay, well, let me send you to my coach. So my lovely sponsor and coach, who, taught me, healthy nutrition, introduced me to the Herbalife products, was like, hey, Edna, you and your husband have a gym.
Correct.
Why not sell Herbalife?
Yes.
So we said, okay, sure. All right, just tell us what to do. And that was the foundation of something that's now a standing living nutrition club here in our hometown in Milledgeville, Georgia.
Wow. And that's one thing. It's amazing how I think a lot of times people try to look for different businesses to start, or look for things, when in essence, the opportunity finds you. And I think a lot of opportunities are birthed from adversity. I think a lot of opportunities are birthed from those hard situations when we're going through them. And I think the sensitivity in knowing and having the keenness in knowing that, okay, you know what, I'm going through this for a reason. And just like you had to go through what you went through during your pregnancy, and it birthed another business out of you, and the lives that has been changed through that, through those hard times, it's amazing right there. And I know that when building the business, it's not all like a downhill where it's like so easy. So I want to hear about some of the earlier years when you were building the business, because I think that's one thing that a lot of people see entrepreneur as the new sexy thing. It's almost like the new pair of sneakers. It is not all sexy. It's not all you start a business today, you're profitable tomorrow. So I want to kind of hear one of your roughest moments in business, and one thing that you did to prevail out of it as well.
You're so head on with that. For us, like I said, we did have a fitness gym. And as you know, fitness is pretty much, for the majority of the United States, it comes last.
Yes.
People, pay their bills. They, do what they have to do. Their priority is not on the priority list. So when it's time to pay those membership fees or training fees, hey, I can't make it this month.
Correct.
So we were having struggles there in the gym. But when we brought this piece to the business, it helped us sustain, and the second thing where we had a hurdle is, and this is why I love multi-level marketing, by the way. Some people think that you can't brand yourself because you're branding somebody else. So there was a struggle there saying, well, hey, we got Faithful Fitness, we can't forget about Faithful Fitness. We can't be branding Herbalife. It's that learning curve we have to hit.
Yes.
To where we said, hey, wait a minute. No, we're branding ourselves. I'm branding Healthy Transformations by Edna. Yes. With a phenomenal product.
Yes.
To help people, So that was probably the main two obstacles that we had to face, and definitely I had to face when trying to build my brand, in the health and fitness industry.
And that's one thing, is breaking into an industry. I like how you separated the brand and the product. The product, which is a wonderful product that actually helps produces results, but the brand is what people fall in love with. The brand is you and yourself. Is building it, sharing your stories. And that's the part where individuals, they fall in love with the brand and will always go through and actually support products, because regardless if whatever product you may have, they're falling in love with your story. They're seeing your transformation. You're in front of them. And I think that's one thing as entrepreneurs, we have to realize that regardless of the product we may have, we must continue to share our story. And I think a lot of times, have you ever been that well, it don't sound like you've been that reclusive entrepreneur where you're kind of like to yourself and everything. I know you said you went through a little small time when you kind of questioned that right there, but have you always been like a extrovert, or have you had any introvertness when you were as an entrepreneur?
That's a very great question. I would say that I've always, been a little bit of an extrovert.
Mhm.
Not staying in, because I like to share. And I'm always open. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Always open to new things. But I've learned that when you stay in one lane, you stay in that one lane. Not venture to the left, not venture to the right, because there's a lot of things that that looks great, that looks sexy. Of course, you're on Instagram and people reach out to you. Oh, can you be a brand ambassador?
Yes. Yes.
Those type of opportunities come to you, but you have to be solid, because when you're building, you can do that yourself too, but you got to know your lane and where to stay. So, I hope that answers some of your question there.
It did. Like when you were saying that, when you were talking, I used to work for the Chick-fil-A organization, and it reminded me how Chick-fil-A stayed within their lane. They said, okay, we're not going to go through and sell hamburgers. We're not going to do this. We're just going to stay within our lane, and we're going to develop our product, and our brand is customer service. But by the way, we have a great chicken sandwich. And that's the same thing that your brand is experiences that you went through and the lives that you're changing. But by the way, you have a great product. And that's one thing as entrepreneurs, I think it's so important for us to go through and realize is being able to go through and stay within that lane, because a lot of sexy things going to come from the left and to the right. It's going to be a lot of dangling carrots. You're like, you know what? If I could just do that right there, that can make some money. But the quick money is not always the most profitable, especially when you're looking at long term. So I think that's like, so how do you maintain the discipline to stay within that lane?
I am my customer.
Mm.
I am my customer. I am my business partners. And I am the vision that I see, what God has shown me. Like, I can't fall off.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And like, I can't be, I have to practice what I preach.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be, what's that word? What's that saying? I have to be, it'll come back later, but I have to be the brand. I have to be the best client. I have to be the best mentor. Yeah. So that keeps me disciplined, because when I wake up in the morning, and I can't admit that there has been some times, but with patience and diligence, I fight whether or not I want to have a healthy shake or a healthy meal. Granted, 3 years down the line, no, my body's in tune. Like, it craves something healthy in the morning.
Wow.
So I just have to be the best customer, the best client, and the best mentor and the best business partner.
And when you're saying this is kind of so, and let's kind of move towards like the team, because you have built a great team, and I'm looking at your team. You have some loyal team members that are building businesses within the business as well, and I'm just like super excited for them. How does building a team kind of keep you focused? That's my first part of the question. How does building a team keep you focused? Because I know sometimes as a solopreneur, the accountability is not there. He's like, you know what? Hey, I can do what I want to do. It's like, hey, this is my business. But how does structuring and you have a strong team around you, how does building a structured team around you keep you accountable?
Building a strong team and the accountability, we want to say that we want to change the world, right? We want to change the world. We want to get the world healthy. One person can't do it, right? Correct. So it's a continuous share, because like you said at the beginning, like, people are attracted to you first, and then they go for the product. Now, I know that I need to bring more people in the business that don't look like me, because some people think that, oh, you woke up with abs, like you were skinny all your life. No, let me show you these. Let me show you these before photos.
Exactly.
I have a couple of them, but more people can relate to another person that have lost 200 pounds, yes. Or they need to see someone from a different cultural background. So with that being said, like, I'm always open to finding people who doesn't look like me, who other people need to see. So, like, again, it always goes back to sharing, and my accountability is teaching my people by, leading by example. Share, encourage your clients that, hey, you can help other people too.
Correct.
And not so much thinking, because I still don't feel like I'm in sales. Like, it's so crazy. I still don't feel like I'm in sales, because there's a passion and a purpose, behind everything. So, it just, my accountability is really like never taking the effect off of sharing how we can save this world together, because it can't be done by me.
Correct. And because I don't believe that a vision that's given to a person, if a vision is given to a person for only for them to go through and fulfill it, I don't believe that's a true vision. I think sometimes I think sometimes when God gives a vision to a person, is to go through it and to cast a vision. I think it's to go through and recruit other individuals along to go through and actually, because other people are waiting for you to make the move, because their vision is aligned with your vision. And if you go through and follow your vision, their vision will come to pass in a record timing as well. And that's why I tell a lot of entrepreneurs, don't go through and just sit on that vision. Don't go through and sit on that dream, because we're holding up doors for the next person. Just to kind of side note, I remember when I first started the ASKFaris Show, I am a shy, introverted person by nature. People do not believe it. My wife don't even believe it. But I'm a shy, introverted person by nature. But I force myself to do things that's uncomfortable all the time, just because I know who's coming behind me, specifically my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter who's coming behind me. And I need to show her that her father can go through and push past barriers of discomfort to go through and actually reach the individuals that he's assigned to go through and reach. And so that's one thing I just want to encourage every entrepreneur, regardless if you're uncomfortable doing it, just do it until it gets comfortable. Just continue to go through and do those things that are uncomfortable until they become comfortable. So that's my little side note. But let's kind of move forward, because as a coach, I know so many times people, they kind of use the word coach lightly. What is your definition of a coach? And do you have a coach yourself or a mentor yourself that pours into your life or pours into your business or however?
Yes, I do have a coach. And it's so important to have someone coaching you. I am still on a journey of personal development, every single morning, every single day. And when we have to fight day-to-day things, personal development is turned on. I have to hear it. And I have to have people around me who are super inspired, who's vibrating just as higher than I am, doing better than I am, because we're always constantly learning. But you asked me definition of a coach, and it goes so deep, Faris. It goes so deep, because when you think about when you're thinking about playing a sport, and you have a team, right? You have a team. Everybody's not in the game at the same time, but they're on a team, and that includes your clients. That also includes your business partners. And we know all the time that we all not going to be in the game. But me being the leader, I got to stay in the game. I have to stay in the game. I have to get through those hard parts. I got to hang in there when they can't hang in there, so that when they're sitting on the bench, they're super inspired. So when they're ready to get in, they can get back in. But we still checking, we still riding for the team. You know what I mean? Like, I'm riding for my client. So I'm posting every day, that social media, keeping up with that.
Yes.
It's a task, but I'm in there for my clients. I'm in there for my business partners and my future business partners. So as a coach, it's like literally staying in the game when you are completely tired. Wow. Or when you are, you know what I mean? When you are not completely tired, but when you just have to push yourself to win the game.
Yes, yes. And when you were talking, I thought about like some of the greats, like Phil Jackson. I thought about even LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. All of these individuals had a coach. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Phil Jackson. And actually, all of those had Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant, and all of them had Phil Jackson as a coach. And I think a coach plays an important role within a player's life or within a team's life because of what a coach does. Just like you said, he or she inspires the individuals to go through and do their best. And they see things from a different perspective as well. Because when Michael is playing on the court, Phil is on the sideline, he's looking at the game in a different perspective. And that's why I think even in business, I think as entrepreneurs, having that sound coach that actually sees business from a different perspective, who already experienced those wins or those losses that's coming. Because we're going to have wins and losses in life and in business as well. But that coach sees it from a different perspective. And one thing when you're talking, I thought about a coach is going to always show up when it's time for practice. A coach is going to always show up when it's game time. A coach is going to be there when we're losing by 20 or when we're winning by 20. It doesn't matter, but the coach is going to be there through the ups and downs. And I think it's so important as entrepreneurs and as leaders within the business industry, we have that coach and we take on the aura of being a coach for our teams, because that's what individuals need. And they're only going to go through and emulate what they see. They're only going to go through and emulate what they see. So if we expect people to go through and actually build businesses or work within organizations, they have to see the leadership. They have to see the coach that's in the game as well. So that is actually that's actually pretty cool. And just like I said, I see you putting in the work, and I know your team actually sees it as well. So they're going through and emulating that as well. I always like to ask other entrepreneurs as well, especially when I know when I'm talking to entrepreneurs, I like to go through and know, are you building a boat or are you building a ship when it comes to your business? And I think building a boat, it takes different tools to build a boat, and it takes one tool to build a ship. Actually, one of my accountants, he asked me that when we were first talking, we were first trying to interview him. He was like, now, what type of business are you building? Are you building a boat where something you can row by yourself, or are you building a ship where it's going to go through and take a collective effort? And I like to go through and ask business owners that as well. So if you can recollect about your business and kind of reflect on where you are right now, are you in the process of building a boat, or are you in the process of building a ship?
In the process of building a ship, Faris. A duplicatable ship.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I like it. I already knew it. In a duplicatable ship, something where the blueprint is there, where individuals can pick up the same thing and work the same processes to get the same results if they put the same work in it. And that's what duplication is doing the exact same thing and not missing a key. It's almost like building a house. Like if they say get nails, get nails. Don't go through and say, you know what, hey, I'm just gonna glue it together. No, that's a shortcut. Get the nails because the blueprint is there. It is there.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, man. So let's kind of move right along. I know where, let's talk about the transformation spot. I know that is a new business that's actually in the Milledgeville area. And I have to go down. The next time I'm going to Milledgeville, I have to stop by those drinks, especially the red, white, and black one you just did, like the Baldwin High, GMC, or whatever drink it was. That looks incredible. But tell me a little bit about the transformation spot. How did the idea come up, and how did where did that passion come from to launch the transformation spot?
Okay, so one great thing that I love about Herbalife, they give us several different ways to run our business. And a couple of years back, they offered their distributors to be able to open up a nutrition club. And that's basically tasting the products per consumption, because everybody is not wanting to, drop ship or try products they never tasted before. That's one thing. The second thing is that you having healthy food options, healthy fast food. And they also, gave us the ability to be able to reach more people in the community. Because if you want to be able to save the world, you got to be in the communities, and you got to have something tangible, someone you can just drop in. I'm just delighted when people walk in and just feel the atmosphere, whether they buy a shake or tea or not, and whether I can have that conversation with them about having healthy nutrition. Wow. So when it came to opening up the transformation spot, God said it was time. I was, in my other city, Pensacola, Florida. And he said, just take it back home. One, because I do have a solid business partner, a solid team back home. Milledgeville definitely know about the product. They know what Herbalife has done. Why not bring it home so we can make a greater impact? So in just thinking about transformation, just transforming. That word is so deep because, as we know, if a person goes on a lifestyle journey, you transform everything.
Yes.
You transform your mind, and that's your mind, the way you're thinking, and then your body follows and all that great stuff. So, and we just want a spot where everybody can transform, wherever you at, on that journey, you can transform at the transformation spot.
Wow. And I see some of the things that you do, not only having like the juice and the teas and the juices, etc., but you all have line dancing class or some type of dance class as well.
Yes, we do. We have line dancing, fitness line dancing. And that's just promoting, just being active, wow. Bringing fun to fitness, because some people see, if you followed my journey, I like CrossFit type training. I like lifting weights and doing crazy stuff. But you don't have to do that to get results.
Wow, that's amazing right there. And I think on a local level, these are things that people need to have access to. Just like you said, like some individuals, they might like to order online, etc. But some people like to have that encounter, that face-to-face encounter, to get that extra customer service, to get those questions answered. And that's one thing that I think you're definitely answering, that particular part of the business, especially on the local level, and giving those team members inspiration to see that, okay, we have a spot, we have a local spot that we can go through and congregate at when times are ups and downs and everything. We have a local team, and I think that's beautiful. That's really beautiful right there. Before we close out this interview, I always like to ask my entrepreneurs as well. Currently, right now, what book are you reading? Because I believe that every entrepreneur is a reader, every leader is a reader, and we're constantly seeking knowledge to go through and better ourselves and better our teams as well. So, what book are you currently reading right now?
You know what? And this is for the third time. I think this is where I'm at. The Secret.
Wow. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh man.
You said this is your third time reading it?
The third time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you get different revelations each time?
Each time.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Each time. But for the most part, every month I try to read at least 2 books. And sometimes when I feel that I need to go back and read the same book over, I love all of John Maxwell's books.
Yes.
Because I just been in a season of growing as a leader, and one thing we know about leadership is that it will show you the areas. it will show you where you need growth.
Yes, it surely will. Oh my gosh. Look, I'm gonna raise both my hands on that one, because especially when you put yourself out there in the public eye. And I know one thing that I was struggling with is consistency. And so now when you put yourself out there and get on the schedule, you're like, okay, now I have to do it because other people they're holding me accountable. And that's what we need as a leader, especially to grow personally and professionally. We need that as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And another thing is, so before we end, I would like for you to give a parting piece of advice to an entrepreneur or a person who's thinking about actually jumpstarting a business. What piece of advice would you give to them as far as starting it up? They've been inspired, they had the dream and everything, but they're trying to go through and see, should I start now, or should I start on January 1st, or should I start 2 years from now? What should I start? So my thing is, if you can give them a piece of advice that you would go through and say that you would do, especially if you had to start back over again.
Okay, my advice would to be start now, because if God has put it in your spirit to do something and it's itching at you, and it's something you need to be doing, start now. It doesn't have to be big, because I hear a lot of people sometimes say, I got to have this in order. I got to do this. I got to do that. And you will eventually get there, but you got to start first. Start small. For me, I definitely feel if, depending on where that person or entrepreneur could be, you definitely need to link and get with a mentor. Start there, and start small, little by little. And we have this world of social media, YouTube, these platform, Instagram, where you literally can, learn anything about the business and start. So just do it. Don't wait. Be consistent. Work on your brand every day. Share your brand every day, 3 times a day if possible.
Yes, yes.
And tell block out anything that's negative, because most people will not understand your vision. Most people won't, but the right ones will be sent to you. So be careful what you're hearing and the thoughts that's blocking you from having that start. Just do it.
Wow. There you have it. Just do it. And I think that's the key, is to just do it, because I think so many times we'll sit on it, we'll wait for that perfect, I don't have enough money, I don't have the right camera, I don't have the right phone, I don't have this. Just do it. Just do it, because I think that's when the rewards come, of seeing how diligent we are throughout the process of just doing it as well. I am super excited about your growth, your transformation that I've witnessed just from afar. I'm super excited about actually visiting the transformation spot. So if you can, right before we leave, you can kind of tell us where's the transformation spot? Give the address. How can people follow you on your social medias or reach out to you if they're interested in learning more about your products, your service, or either your mentorship as well?
All right. The transformation spot is located 800 North Wayne Street in Milledgeville, Georgia. We are actually almost in Beckham Used Cars back parking lot near the railroad's track. You can also find the transformation spot on Instagram and on Facebook at the Transformation Spot. And as far as my personal page on Facebook, to get fully inspired, because it's my duty to inspire people no matter what, to share from my experiences. My personal page is Edna Fisher, and on Instagram you can find me at MissMRS.Edna3RD, Edna third. I am Edna the third on Instagram.
Perfect. And I'm definitely going to go through and include that in the show notes as well, because I want individuals who have taken what you've said and actually to go through and reach out to you, ask you questions, regardless if they're in the health space or not, because I think some of the knowledge that you have will definitely go through and inspire future entrepreneurs and current entrepreneurs along their journey as well. So with that being said, Edna, I really appreciate you joining us on the ASKFaris Show. I wish you nothing but blessings and success. And I'm super excited about heading out to the transformation spot to go through and try out my tea as well. So again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Super grateful. God bless you on what you're doing for these entrepreneurs out here.
Thank you so much.